What you're about to watch is a special private training session for people who bought a copy of my book, Built to Serve. Enjoy. Faith had the winning topic today about getting a new program launched. Faith is in the chat right now. Actually, Faith, why don't you tell us quickly what are you trying to launch so we can workshop it a little bit more?
Hello, good morning. Aloha. So I teach Tai Chi and Qigong. I have for a long time in person, and I'm putting together an online school, academy, community to teach and, to serve, right? I've spent my whole life studying this, and it's time. So I'm getting that together. It's ready. It's ready. I'm almost ready. I'm ready to go. And
right.
So, and I have a plan, but then I think about social media, right? And I'm also a photographer. So my social media, I post flowers and stuff. And so also to put that topic into something I can start to share and put forth to people, maybe in my personal, but in my community group. And really, it's just getting started. Where do I start to tell people hey, this is happening, come join me. Initial.
Who do we want to be in our community? Is it people who want to learn Tai Chi, people who want to teach Tai Chi? Who are the ideal people for this?
People who want to learn and practice Tai Chi.
Got it. And it's a course or it's a membership? It's meeting with you once a week or month, or what do I get if I join?
I'm going to have a couple of different options. I'm going to have live Zoom classes that will meet weekly.
Okay.
Recordings will be available to those students after. So I want to have that place they can go and have their references. I'm also going to do some recording classes so people can have that option if they just want to do recordings. And then community is such a big thing that I'm going to also have a community site where the students can interact with each other and get support.
I know, I'm not a Tai Chi practitioner. My sister was hardcore into it. How much of it is practice versus learning? At the beginning, there's a lot of learning the techniques and the movements and breaking it down. How much of it is, if I'm an intermediate student now, how much of it is do I get bored in the beginner class, or is it it's still helpful?
It is progressive learning. And so as a student goes through the program, the courses continue. So practice is a big part of it because Tai Chi is a practice. And it's one of the things that I want to address, because if you just go to class, it's not a follow along kind of a situation, right? I really want people to embody it and take it home and do it, right? But there'll be an intro class that will be a live, but eventually that intro is going to go more into a recording with live support, sort of like what we're doing here. Because as people go, once they go through the intro, they're ready for the next course and they're ready for the next course. But they can't start up here because it really doesn't make any sense. They have to have the building blocks. That's part of the challenge.
Yeah. Well, with every challenge is an opportunity. And
yes.
I just came back from Vegas, met Zane there, was speaking at an event with Gary Vee and a bunch of people. And on my flight back, I was there early because you never know, getting to Canada, if there's going to be delays or whatever. And I got stopped in the airport lounge. He's like, Evan, I saw you speak at the thing. Can I ask you a question? I said, hey, grab a seat. And we chatted for 20 minutes before she went to her plane. And she taught, it's similar. So she taught guitar. So it's guitar classes. Not that, guitar is Tai Chi, but close, we're learning, we're teaching something. And it's the same component of community plus learning. The challenge that she faces, that you'll face, that other people will face along this journey is there's a certain level of knowledge that people need to be able to do to be able to practice it. If you're just starting to teach me, I don't know, where do I put my hands? Where do I put my legs? What am I doing? Rather very basic stuff for people to figure out, which once you learn those basic things, you kind of don't want to do it again. It's kind of boring to go back and do it again, except for I come from the salsa dancing world. And they like to say, like, the beginners want to learn the intermediate stuff, the intermediates want to learn the advanced stuff, and the advanced people go back to the beginning. Right? It's like to really refine, because you think you got the hand motion, but you don't even know what you're doing with it. So that's like super high level. But most time, like, the intermediates don't want to hang out with the beginners. They'll help, but it's not valuable for them as much to learn anymore. So usually the best way to do it is to split it, where the first part is a course. So the foundation of Tai Chi, and teach me how to do the basic motions, so that, or movements, or whatever it's called, so that I'm ready to go to the group practice. So it's either a course or like a boot camp where you're doing it live with them, but there's a start and an end, and it's a fixed date. It's like, I will teach you how to do Tai Chi inside of 8 weeks, or whatever, 20 weeks, 16 weeks, 4 weeks, however long it takes you to do it, right? But you have people start together, or it's a course where it's evergreen and they're following along, so that when they get to the community side of things, if it's a weekly practice that you're doing, like, hey, join me every day at 9 a.m. Pacific or whatever, and we're going to go do Tai Chi together. It's less instruction of how to do it and more just community of us doing it together. Does that make sense? And then on top of that, you could sell more private one-on-one of like, how do I really master that move? Or how do I use Tai Chi with my hip that's hurting me? Or it's like all sorts of different custom things that people then ask, like, they want to go deeper. And so that's when you sell the one-on-one at a higher level. So there's course or boot camp at the beginning. It's just basically planning for the fact that the beginners will get to the intermediates, and the intermediates will start to get bored. And so they're not all mixed into the same group, right? So boot camp or workshops or course, teach it in 8 weeks. Then it goes to the community side and they're paying like less teaching, but just more community. And it could also be people who you have who lead this. It's not always you who has to lead it. It could be a daily thing every day. Like, as you build and scale and grow every day, there's a new Tai Chi community thing to do it together. Like in our park here, people go and do Tai Chi every morning, and it's a community thing where they run through the same sequence together, even if they haven't met each other, right? Like if my sister could go and meet other people I've never met before, and they know how to do the same motions in the park together. So now I don't have to practice by myself. Now I've got this Zoom community of people to do it. And then you're the top, or you're the queen, or you're the head. And if people want more one-on-one access, then that's what they go to you for. How does that sit?
Yes, that sits great, and actually lines up with what I was thinking in terms of bringing people in and the progression, because you've got to progress them and you can't mix them. And that's sort of always the challenge. So one question related to that, right, is we talk about social media, and this can apply for anything that we're putting forth, right? And like posting and, content and all of that. Do you have any suggestion on how to, do you just put little quotes, or like I don't really know how to do the social media part and start to propagate that to, kind of bring people into the whole thing?
Yeah. So, okay, let me pull up your account, and then we can dissect it together here, get some feedback. So is this it? This is the one?
No, that's my Instagram photography thing that I don't really do anything with. I don't have a handle on Instagram at all.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, but you know what? This is a good indication of like what I normally do.
Well, cool, but that's next, right? So, you're founder of your school. Awesome. This Tai Chi, you got cool. Awesome. Whether you want to update this one to become the brand, or we're going to launch a new one for the brand, in terms of making content, everything can work. I mean, we're seeing the biggest success right now with Reels. I talked about that in Mover Makers a few times, but Reels are performing just insanely well, super short clips. And obviously we need to talk about Tai Chi. It's great to have flowers and stuff, but we need to talk about Tai Chi on our Tai Chi account, that people know that they can get access to you and what you're up to and the value of Tai Chi and we're targeting beginners. Like, what is Tai Chi? How can it help you? How has it helped, you personally? How has it helped the students in your class? Not as a sales pitch, but value add. And a good indication of type of content to make is look at the people who you're following. So let's see who you're following. So if I click on who you're following, Evan Carmichael. Okay, good.
I follow personal development coaches only and a few photographers on my Instagram.
No, but that's good. Like, if you look at these people, you take, like, you follow them for a reason. They make you feel something. They make you feel a certain way. You love their message. You're following Tom and Jamie and Mel and other Mel and Anthony. And these are all my friends. This is great. So what is it about them that makes you want to follow them, and whose content are you like most engaged with? And your job is to take and capture some of that feeling, but put it inside the world of Tai Chi. So your message isn't that off from a Mel Robbins or Jamie Kern Lima. Just the packaging is through Tai Chi instead of a speech. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Am I too out there, like talking?
No,
okay.
Not at all. And really, when I look at what they're putting forth, right? It's good. I mean, my Instagram, it's sort of like, when I scroll it, it's sort of like personal development 101.
Well, but and that's fine, and that's what you do. Like, Tai Chi is personal development.
It is, yes.
It's just not through speeches; it's through motion.
Right. It's through a
like
practice.
People leave. You saw it in my sister, like, to come out more confident, more self-aware, more self-belief, more connected. Like, all of the benefits that you get from personal development, just you're teaching it through motion as opposed to you getting on stage and speaking or writing the book. Personal development and Tai Chi are not like two totally separate entities. You're accomplishing the same thing, just through different ways. So that's the point. Like, if you take of who you love about personal development and then take that part and throw it into Tai Chi. So we're talking about we're showing how to have more belief or self-awareness or self-respect through the motion of Tai Chi. I wouldn't stress out too much about having the perfect picture, perfect video, or anything yet. Just get started, because you haven't started on that new account yet, or transition your account. But yeah, if you can mix that, like, personal development that you love, mix it with Tai Chi, and that gives birth to, the content, that's how you start to post content that's going to win.
Okay, that's really helpful. Thank you. Thank you for that.
It's a weird thing to say that personal development is Tai Chi, like that, like we're both getting to the same, but it is.
It is. No, it is. You're right. I love that.
So you got to capture the essence of personal development, mix it with Tai Chi, and now we've got special faith brand that nobody else can match.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
If you want to get a copy of Built to Serve and join us live for our next training with me to ask your questions, you can go get the book right there next to me, right there. I'll see you there. I'll see you to get the book. It's a good one. Much love.